and I belong to one of the most prominent families in Nigeria. What do you think you can do to me?
Hi, in this video, I will be reviewing the movie A Night in 2005, which you can watch on Prime Video. So this movie opens up with this party. So apparently this student had just graduated from secondary school and they were having this after party, just going to have fun, play games and just chill, like to celebrate them, living that phase of their life. So there's this girl in particular, Ife, who was so excited for this party, but it turns out that that night in 2005 was a night she was never going to forget, because that night was when somebody had sexually violated her. And her night quickly turned from a fun night to becoming her worst nightmare. So in the movie, we get to see how this girl has not still dealt with it, how she's affected by it, the trauma, the aftermath of everything, and how it has affected her into adulthood. Carrying this big secret, carrying this dark, shadow over her life, and how she has been struggling to live her everyday life, coupled with the fact that she has this amazing man who is ready to marry her and all of that, but she still is haunted by the ghost of that night, still traumatized by it all. And the movie is more or less like a movie of revenge, her trying to get retribution, trying to get justice, and also trying to heal and deal with that trauma from her abuser. So it's a very, very emotional watch. So the director and writer of this movie is Temidayo Makanjola, and the movie was produced by Nem King. Honestly, this movie is a thought-provoking movie. Like it highlights societal issues in regards to violence against women, sexual assault, and it just opens our eyes to it all. Like it shows us the effects, the consequences, and the societal backlash, like the way society sees and responds to people that have been assaulted. Essentially, it is a very, very interesting watch. The actors in this movie, for one, we have Ife. So we have the older version, who was played by Inidima. So this babe, she really embodied this character so well. Like she was really, really traumatized. You can see she also had issues of, I guess, being a bit touchy feeling with her husband, to, because she was still affected by the trauma. Like, he couldn't hug her and she won't feel like disgusted and all of that. She hasn't dealt with it, and it was really affecting her relationships, affecting her day-to-day life. And Inidima really, really portrayed the character so well. Like she was really, really giving us the feel of somebody that had, gone through it and is trying to heal from it. At first, when we get to see her, at first, she seems like a very fragile, soft spoken lady, but we get to see her like transform within our eyes. So she becomes very courageous, becomes very bold, where she, speaks to her attacker in the face, takes everything, like the backlash of it all, head on, even though it wasn't easy. But we get to see how she was done, keeping quiet. She was done being silent. She was done, letting this person have such power and control over her. So when she spoke up and tried to get justice was really nice to see. The younger version of Ife was played by Laura Pepel. This girl did so well, although we didn't see a lot from her. But the times we got to see her, you could see how she really played the role of somebody that had been, assaulted, someone that had been violated. Like she really, really gave us that raw emotion. Like she was like a very sweet, just cute little girl that was trying to experience life, trying to just have fun with her friends. Like she never had been to a party before. So she was really excited to have a fun night with her friends, celebrating finishing secondary school and all of that, just for everything to go the way it went. Then we get to see the character Opeyemi Dada, who was played by Efa Iwara, the older version. This guy, I don't know, I think this is the first movie I have watched that made me hate Efa's character so much, because he really embodied this character. He was the bad guy, of course, he was the villain in this movie, and he brought that to life. Like in his facial expressions, like his body language, you could see there was just this thing about his character that I feel he just did not like women. He felt women were beneath him. He just felt like he could do as he likes with women, considering the fact that he has money, has power, has influence. Like, who I am. I'm connected to everybody. I have everybody in my back pocket. So he can do anything and get away with it. So that was why he was now trying to run for governor of Lagos State. Regardless of how dark his past was. He was a narcissist, he was a misogynist, he was the worst kind of man ever. Like you could even get to see in his interactions with his wife. You could see how controlling he was. Like he would say what he wants you to hear to manipulate you. Like he has a way. Like these types of men are very very scary because nah, like what is it? Like what is it? Like imagine okay, he married his wife, want her to be like so in the political. I just basically support what I'm doing. Just be in my corner, be my shadow essentially. Don't have your own dreams, don't have your own life. I feel he basically just married her for political gain and he didn't really love her. I don't even think this guy loved anybody in this movie except himself. Like he was such an evil villain in this role. The younger version of um Ope was played by Shams Garuba, and this guy I don't even know. Both of them annoyed me so much in this movie because although we do also get to see a lot from him, but the little scenes we got to see from him was quite impactful. Like he was annoying. He was one of those spoiled rich guys that put up a facade and do anything that they want and they get away with it. So he was just basically somebody that was always used to having his way. Like you understand, he was always used to getting what he wants, whether you like it or not, essentially. But as a villain, Effa really did amazing. His performance was 10/10 in this movie. Then we also get to see the character Ari, who was Ife's best friend. So the older version was played by Teniola. Teniola did really, really good. Of course, she was the girlfriend to Ope when they were much younger, and she was in love with him and everything. And now, as they're older, she still is still hooked on that love. She has still not outgrown that time of her life. She still lets this man manipulate her emotionally. Because why would you tell me that this guy claims he loves you, but he has a whole wife, he got married to somebody else, and has been stringing you along all these years? Like, what kind of dirty love does this man say he has for you? Like, it was so annoying, how she allowed this man take advantage of her feelings for him. But she really did well. But one thing I didn't really, get to see was okay, we get this vibe, but they keep saying, she's besties with Ife, but I didn't really get the whole bestie vibe because when Ife opened up and said what she said, the response she got from Ari wasn't what I would expect a bestie would say. She wasn't really in her corner. She didn't really come through for her like I expected till the very end, which was a bit disappointing for me. Then the younger version of Ari was played by Susan Pajok. And this babe did so well. She was just a lovesick girl that was so in love with her boyfriend and was just living her high school dream, her high school romance, and just all of that. So she did well. She was just a cute lover girl then. But older version of her really, really pissed me off. We get to see character Paul, who was played by Taye. So he is the first fiance. This guy really, really loves her. Like he came through for her, he was there for her, he supported her, even when she wasn't opening up to him because he could tell there was something off, but he still did not let the fact that she was pulling away from him make him, cut her off or shut her down or call off the engagement. So he was still trying to reach out to show her how much he cared and he loved that, which was really cute to see. And Taye did such a good job in this role. We also got to see the character Kelechi Dada, who was played by Uzo Amaka. So she was Opeyemi's wife. So this babe, she's a fantastic actress. Let me just put that out. So she is somebody that she had she has this feminist thing. She has this, big dream of, getting into politics and, being a woman in politics, but had to put that on hold because of her husband, because of, she got married to Opeyemi, so she had to put that on hold. And she had to basically be this guy's handbag essentially. So she had to take a step back to let this man do his thing and just put her dreams and her ambitions on lock because of this man. But I really loved like she was quick to know that there was something off about her husband. She was very attentive. She paid attention to everything. And one thing that really annoyed me was the time when she wanted to pack her things and leave the house and she let this man manipulate her into staying. That that scene just showed how manipulative Opeyemi was, like saying all the right things, being so vulnerable, saying things that would talk at her emotions essentially. Like, ah, if I really did a good one in this movie. Then we also get to see Yetide, who was played by Bimbo Akintola. She happens to be Ife's mom in this movie. This woman pissed me off so much. Oh my goodness. Right from when Ife was younger to now that she's older, you could see like she was not really interested in anything Ife had to say. Like she knew Ife opened up and told her what had happened that night. But her mom, did not speak up for her. Mom did not take the necessary actions. And her silence was basically bought off. And now that it was like her character was really, really annoying. She wasn't the loving, supportive mother that you would wish for. Her whole thing was, to be influential, to have money, to more or less, I don't know, Sha, but her character wasn't really my favorite person in the movie. We got to see Mrs. Dada, who was played by Ireti Doll. This woman killed this role so well. I think she was the only person in this movie that Ope was afraid of. Like he feared his mother so much. Like anything she says was law. And Ireti Doll 10/10 performance in this movie. Like, she embodied this character, she embodied this woman of influence, of power, and like what she wants, she must get essentially. So, yes, I think that is it for the actors in this movie. Then, of course, get to see this girl, Daniela Peters. So, she was this social media babe that was basically following stories. Then, also get to see this guy who played, I think, Tunde as well. Get to see Ife's uncle and her niece and the son, like some other actors in the movie, yeah. But yeah, so that is it for the performances. And honestly, everybody gave such an amazing performance. Like honestly, you would enjoy, watching this movie. Then that aside, some themes you can pick up on in this movie will of course be the theme of rape, which is what this movie is centered on. How this guy, violated this lady, and how she's trying to get closure, how she's trying to deal with that trauma, how she's trying to heal and get justice. So other themes you can pick up on in the movie will be the theme of trauma, the theme of justice, theme of mental health, because you could see she was struggling. Like this thing would mess your mind up so much. You begin to blame yourself. I should not have said this, I should not have been here, I should not have won this, I should not have done that. But can't blame yourself for being, abused. The fault is from the abuser. They're like, why do you choose to inflict such pain and violate somebody in such a manner? Then another theme, of course, would be the theme of trauma, essentially, because you could physically see how Ife was struggling. She was traumatized. Just imagine seeing these guys' posters everywhere on news, billboards, everything. It was a lot for her to do it, and she just lost it. Theme of power, like these people, the power play in this movie from Mrs. Dada and from Opeyemi was insane. Like, see the way they finished Ife at that interview, like, and even the whole thing about trying to kill her and all, like, it was crazy. Watching the movie, you also get to see how society is not as well supportive of a victim of sexual assault. Society is ready to point their finger at the woman and blame her and make her feel she is the reason why this thing happened to her, which should not be at all. I hope we get to address all these societal issues and we get to learn from this movie on how to do better and act better and just be better people essentially. I really enjoyed the movie A Night in 2005, especially the way it ended. Like I liked how these three ladies came together and dealt with Ope. Imagine him calling them females in a very derogatory manner. Like he just he feels like he's doing them a favor for being in their lives essentially, which is just crazy. But yes, this movie will have you having conversations about it. This movie will make your blood boil so much. The story, I liked the way it addressed things that happen in today's society essentially, like everything from the abuse of power to the social media bullying. I love also how the film shows us like the aftermath, like the psychological impact of having gone through such a traumatizing thing. How victims or people that have been through that, how they struggle to live. It's very, very sad that some men can be animals essentially. It's the hypocrisy for me. Imagine this man with this dark past, coming to run for governor. You want to become governor of a state. You want to be in position of power to be able to inflict only God knows what to the masses. And always preaching accountability and transparency and one thing or the other. Like, yo, people should do better. Spread love. Don't cause pain. Don't be a reason for somebody's trauma. We can do better. I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe. Check out my other videos. Compliments of the season, by the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.